This conference will now be recorded.
Hi Sudhir, hi Mohan. Yeah.
Hi Mahesh.
So guys, what we have done in the yesterday's session is whatever the project we had developed previously, we had imported the project from the AnyPoint platform to the AnyPoint studio over here, and we are just going to deploy this project today into the AnyPoint platform and apply the policies for them. So before going to it, I just want to deploy the project once again and test whether it is working fine or not. So today what we are just going to do is we are just going to deploy our application to the AnyPoint platform Cloud Hub, and we are just going to apply a couple of policies for it. Ramon, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes Mahesh.
Okay. guys, here our project had been deployed over here. We can move the browser in order to check the response. Localhost colon 8081 slash console is our end path. So here, let us test whether we are able to get the responses dynamically or not here. So if I am requesting it according to LAX, I am able to get this LAX data as our response over here. And if I am just requesting it according to SFO, we are able to get the SFO data as our response over here. So here, if we are just moving for the post method, we are able to get, hello,
Hello, Mahesh. Hello.
yes, sorry for that, I just got in call. Hello, Ramon, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yes, Mahesh. Can you show me again one how we are getting this one from studio? How we are importing?
Have you practiced the yesterday session?
No, no, Mahesh. Actually, I have some work in. I am not here in yesterday. Tomorrow I will practice.
Okay, so the recorded session was updated yesterday night itself,
Yeah, yeah.
actually.
I saw it. Tomorrow I will practice.
So how to import the project? I'm just saying it for you. If you just right click on your project name, here
Okay,
there will
okay,
be an option called import from design center. If you click on this import from design center option,
okay,
so here you just need to sign into this account, your
okay,
AnyPoint platform account at the starting point. Since I had already signed into it, like the projects for me. So after just
okay,
clicking on any of the project, if I click on OK, that project will be imported.
okay, okay.
Okay, this project how we had uh, integrated them and everything, you can see it in the yesterday session because it will take 1 hour in order to explain it again.
Yeah, okay, okay. No problem. Okay.
Yeah. So here, whatever the project we are just deployed, we are able to get the dynamical data as our response over here, and under the get by ID method, here if you are just requesting it according to 10th ID, we are able to get the 10th ID as our response over here, and under this delete method, try it, send it, flights deleted but not really, put method, try it, send it, so flights updated but not really. So here we are able to get this data dynamically as our response over here. So now I just want to deploy this project into the Anypoint platform Cloud Hub. So exactly in the same way how we had imported the project, we can right click on our project, move to the Anypoint platform option, and here there is a direct option called deploy to Cloud Hub, which is available here. So if I just click on deploy to Cloud Hub, since I had already signed into this Anypoint platform account, it will directly show the runtime manager page where I can deploy my project. Okay. So here the American so it is checking whether the name is available here or not. American WS5. Yes, the name is available. Okay, none of the other users had taken this name in order to deploy the project. So here, if you are just typing American WS, that will not be persisting since it is taken by the other users. And here, I just want to deploy the project with the latest version of 4.3.0. And here, we can deploy our project by using any of the version over here. And I'm just choosing 0.1b course. And I'm not going to change any of the options over here. And I'm just clicking on this deploy application option.
Mahesh, what is meant by workers?
Workers are nothing but in a real-time project, when you are just going for the deployment, okay, there will be n number of workers. Okay, only one admin worker will be available. So for this n number of workers, if the admin is going to give the access, they are allowed to test this application or make the changes in this application in the production. Hello?
Yeah, workers
Did you
means
get
number
it?
of. No.
Yes. See, for example, you, me, and Sudhir are available here. Let us assume
Okay.
that I am the admin over here. So whenever
Okay.
you are just going to access this application, I just need to give the access for you. That means there are 3 workers for this application right now.
Okay.
Okay, you, me, and Sudhir. And in order to make any of the changes in this application, I just need to give the access for you.
Okay.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
So it will take some time in order to deploy our application. Let us wait for it. So here our project had been deployed over here and we can move the browser. in order to check whether our project had been deployed in the runtime manager or not. As you can see, our application is deployed and it is started. It is showing here. Let me close it. It is taking some time in order to close. Yes. So here we can move to the browser in order to check it, Anypoint platform. I'm just going to sign into this account. So here, whatever the project we had deployed, that is persisting under the runtime manager, that is not available in the API manager. So whatever the project we are deploying here, from the Anypoint Studio to this Mule Anypoint platform, that will be persisting under this runtime manager. Okay, not the API manager. So we are just moving for the API runtime manager option over here. So here we had successfully deployed our application American WSPy into the Cloud Hub and it is started. That is what it is displaying it over here. So now I'm just going to click on this American WSPy option over here and I'm just clicking on the URL, typing /console. So by default /console is our end path and we had not changed it in the yesterday's session. So if I just type /console as our end path, then only we will be able to get the response in a graphical way. So now our project, whatever we had developed yesterday and integrated with Anypoint platform RESTful API, we had successfully deployed it into the Anypoint platform Cloud Hub now. And now what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to request this API whether we are able to get the dynamical responses or not. We are just going to test them. And post method we are able to request it. And we just got flights added but not really, and get by ID method. So here if you are requesting it according to 4th ID, we are able to get the 4th ID as our response. So here ID4 we are able to display it as our response over here. And if we are requesting it according to any of the other ID, so here we are able to get the dynamical data as our response. And if I am just moving with the delete method, try it, send it. Flights deleted but not really is an option where we are able to get it as our response. And here if we are just going to send it for the put method, flights updated but not really, we are able to get it as our response over here. So here we are able to get the dynamical data as our response, and we had successfully deployed our project into the Anypoint platform Cloud Hub into the runtime manager. And now you're having any doubts regarding it? Up to here, Sudhir Ramohan.
No, Mahesh.
Okay. Sudhir?
Yeah, no, Mahesh, no. Continue. No, Mahesh.
Okay. So here, under this dashboard, we can check the analytics of our application. Under the insights, how many users had been done, like how many transactions were done and where they were stored, when they were stored. Everything will be detailedly stored in the transaction details in the insights. The logs are nothing but whenever the user is requesting us and whatever the response we are just sending for the users, Either we are sending the correct response for the users or the failure response for the users. Okay, we can just check it. At the end, we had requested it according to the put method. Now put method is available. If I am just requesting it according to get by ID or something, if I am requesting it according to third ID. So under the logs, the third ID is loaded over here. So here the logs are just used to check whether we are able to send the correct response for the users or not. Guys, just a moment, please. Sorry for it. Sorry for the that. Since we had requested it according to third ID, so we are able to get the third ID as our response, as you can check it over here. So here under the object stores, keys and partitions will be stored over here. Under the queues, if you are using any of the queues, and under the queues, so we will be having message brokers. If I just want to send a message to the bulk of users at the same time and store those messages safely and securely, then we will be using the queues. If we had used any of the so then those queues will be displayed under this queues option over here. Under the schedules, when our application had been lastly run, those details will be available. Under the settings, if I just want to upgrade the runtime version, if I just want to degrade the runtime version, or else if I just want to change the work size and worker size, properties, insights, everything we will be able to manage and govern it by using this runtime manager option. So under this dashboard as well, previously we had requested it according to this URL. So here we can see the analytics of our application as well. So here up to here, are you having any doubts? Whatever the project we had deployed in the runtime manager and whatever the options we had seen.
No, Mahesh. I think it is similar to the same platform, similar to the deploying the application
Yes.
from the platform. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So now what we are just going to do is we are just going to pick this URL, okay, from the summary. I'm just going to copy it. Hello. So sorry for that, guys. So whatever the URL we are just getting here. So previously we had deployed one of the project in the API manager. Did you remember it, guys? The API manager, we had deployed one of the project which we had designed.
Yes, Mahesh.
So here,
Slides 4, I think. Slides.
so under them, we had provided the implementation URL, right? So here I am just moving to one of the project, and instead of the mocking service URL, whatever we had pasted there, I just want to paste the implementation URL. Okay. So here what happens is instead of moving to the Anypoint Platform Design Center API, by pasting this URL here in the implementation URL, whenever we are requesting it according to this proxy URL, it will directly redirect it to this implementation URL over here, whatever we had pasted. You will be able to get a dynamical response exactly in the same way. So if I just save it, and I'm just going to redeploy the project. So our application is getting redeployed after changing the implementation URL under the Flights 4 project, whatever we had created previously, and deployed them. So it is taking some time in order to redeploy the project. Let us wait for it. So let us wait for a couple more minutes. It is taking some time, extra time in order to deploy it. Okay, our project had been deployed over here. And now, if I just go for a proxy URL, this is the actual proxy URL and the implementation URL is this. If we are just going to click on this URL as well, internally it will be redirecting to this URL itself. So by default, as we know, slash console is our end path. So here, try it, send it. We are able to get the SFO data as our response. So here we are able to get the dynamical data as our response instead of statical data. So the URL had been redirected over here. Under this post method, we are able to display the message as a response for the users.
Hello,
Get by
Mahesh.
ID method. Yes.
What is the difference between this proxy URL and implementation URL?
This is the proxy URL where we are going to check perfectly like where we are deploying the projects. Okay. Either in the Cloud Hub or the hybrid or anywhere. And we can apply the policies only by using this API manager option. We cannot apply the policies and do the other options by using this runtime manager. Those options were not available there.
No, no, I am asking what is the difference between proxy URL and implementation URL?
Implemented, the URL is same. The projects are
Okay,
deployed into Cloud, but the proxy URL is nothing but it is the actual URL where we can apply some more extra options.
okay, okay. These both should be same or both are same?
Hello.
Is both are same or different?
See, both are same. Okay,
Okay, okay,
as per the URL, okay, but internally the proxy wise it is different again. Only by using this URL you will be able to apply the policies and everything. Okay,
okay,
over here
okay,
you can't find all of these options under the runtime manager.
okay,
For example, whenever you are just getting like any of the account blog like facebook.com or something, it will be redirected to facebook.in, right?
okay. Yeah,
Ramohan?
yeah. Tell me.
See, if you are going to use any of the internet, you will be using internet, right?
Yeah,
If you use internet, like
okay.
sometimes you might be facing server not found, those kind of issues, or else this URL is not working, it is redirected to other URL,
Yes, yes.
like in call forwarding option in your mobile. Okay, so we are implementing, we are requesting it by using this URL, but internally this URL will be executed here.
Okay,
Did
okay.
you get it now?
Yeah, yeah, yes, ma'am.
Yes, just think in a realistic way, like how we are just going to manage it in the real time. Then you will be able to get it.
Okay.
Okay. Just a minute. So here I am just going to test this URL now. And typing slash console as our endpath. Get method, try it, send the request. Okay, we are able to get the data dynamically as our response over here. Okay, then the implementation URL internally executed is working fine. Okay, so now what I just want to do is whatever the API we are requesting, so I just want to apply a policy. Under the policies, just by clicks we can apply any of the policy here. If I just click on apply new policy, so if any of the user is signing into our account, then only he will be able to access our account. He should provide the username and password. So here under this basic authentication simple, so this policy is just used to configure the sign in option for the users. So I am just clicking on any of the version and configure policy for the users. I am just providing the username as a test and password as a test. Okay. So here the policy had been applied. Let us wait for a minute, then go to the URL and reload it. Let us wait for a minute in order to pick the policy. Okay, let me request reload it again. And let me go for the get method, try it, send it. So when we are sending the request, it is asking the username and password for us. If I provide the username and password, then only it will give the response for us. So once we sign into this account, we can request it a number of times. So this is the sign-in policy which I had been applied and applied over here. So if once you had signed into this account, you will be able to send the request a number of times. And exactly in the same way, if I just want to apply the same kind of policy, so I'm just removing this policy over here. If I want to apply the SLA type, so whenever you are going for some of the websites, there will be a free account, silver account, premium account, gold account. So if I just want to access those kind of options over here, just a moment guys, sorry for it. So sorry for it. We can apply the same policies exactly in the same way. So if any of the user wants to register with the free account, and for the free account the approval is automatic because the free account users will not be paying anything for us. the free account user can only send 2 requests in a minute. Okay, so this is the policy, like SLA tire, I am just adding it. And exactly in the same way, silver account user approval, I just want to make it or manual, and silver account user can send 5 requests in a minute. Okay, so this SLA tiles I had just configured it. So now we had just configured the SLA tiles, and in order to apply these SLA tiles, we just need to apply the policy based on SLA tile rate limiting concept. So there is an policy called rate limiting based SLA tile. Okay, so I am just going to configure this policy. So how to identify whether the user is so client ID and client secret we are able to get it. So here how how our application will identify whether the user is from the silver account or the free account. So it is able to identify by using this client ID and client secret. So in order to access the application, we just need to provide the client ID and client secret, then only it will be able to access. So I'm just applying this policy over here. So here our project had been applied over here, and if I request it again, try it, send it, it is asking the client ID and client secret. So here we are not having any of the option in order to provide the client ID and client secret. Okay, the username and password like. So I just want to use the Postman tool. So here I'm just pasting the URL of whatever we are requesting here. So this ID URL is this one. I'm just going to copy it and paste it under the Postman. Send it. So here it is again saying invalid client ID and client secret. So where we can provide it? Under the headers, we can provide the client ID and client secret. So client ID, client secret. So till now we had not registered with this any of the accounts. We are not having the values of it. Okay. So here we just need to provide the values. So how to register? Whatever based on whatever the policies we had applied, if we are just moving for the exchange option over here. So here flight score is the project name. Here we are having a 3-dotted icon over here, and if I click on the request access, okay. So here API instance, the sandbox where we had deployed our project. Since none of the applicant is registered, for example, let us assume that Sudhir had been registered with the free account. Okay, I am just creating a name of Sudhir. Sudhir is registering with a free account user. For the free account, only 2 requests per 1 minute will be available. If I send the request, the approval is automatic since no need to pay anything for the free account users. So I can copy this client ID and exactly in the same way I can copy this client secret and send it. The free account users can only send 2 times in a minute. Okay, and if I am sending it for third time, this error we will be getting it. After a minute, again we will be able to send the request. Sorry guys, sorry for it. Actually getting lots of calls because tomorrow and after tomorrow is a weekend. So here, after a minute, again we will be able to send the request for the users. 1, 2. After 2 times, the third time it will be throwing an exception. So it is for free account. But where we are just moving for the silver account, for the silver account, the approval is manual. So for example, Ram Mohan is registering with the silver account. So for silver account, we can send 5 requests per minute. Okay, and if I am requesting it, so the approval is pending because whenever we had gone for the SLA tires, okay, what about the setup we had set up there is the approval should be manual, not automatic for the silver account because I just need to check whether the user had paid for it or not. So here we can go for the ABA manager. And into the same application, okay, so here under the contracts we will be having the approvals, okay, where we can approve it. If I just want to approve it, delete the total account or reject it, or else if I just want to approve the free account for the user, everything is in our hand. As per now, I just want to approve the silver account, and where the client ID and client secret is available, the client ID and client secret will be available under the exchange again. In my applications, under this RAM, so here is a client ID. Copy it, paste it, copy the client secret, and pasted it. So I can send 5 times. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6th time when I am sending the request, it is throwing an exception. Quota has been exceeded. Any doubts in it for anyone, guys? Again, after 1 minute, we will be able to request it. Ramohan, are you having any doubts? How to apply these policies
No.
and everything? Is
No,
everything
Mahesh.
clear?
Yeah.
Okay, just a moment. After a minute, again we will be able to send the request. Okay, the minute is not. We are not done with the minute. So the minute had been happened. If I send the request after 1 minute, again after 5 requests, it will be able to display the error response this time. Okay. So no doubts for you, Sudhir and Ramon, right? So from Monday we are just moving with the basics. Okay, like what is a flow, how to debug a project from the internally, what are the types of flows, how to structure our project in the real time, how to create the variables, how to call the variables dynamically. So everything we are just going to see it. Okay.
Okay, Mahesh.
Okay, guys. We'll meet on Monday again. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.